Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Chainlink and Link. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys, could hit that like button. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course, I always do greatly appreciate it. Now, I am going to be recording this a little bit ahead of time, so of course, prices are probably going to be a little bit different when I do upload this, but of course, I'm going to outline that just in case the prices do change drastically, and we're going to be talking about that in terms of the price chart. So let's just dive in, let's talk about a few things, and let's talk about why I foresee Link having an incredible amount of potential behind it still, and why you should not overlook Chainlink. So first off, we talk about a lot of interoperability, use cases on this channel, specifically around QNT or Quant. So when we look at Quant and we look at Chainlink, they are both very similar in a sense, where they do kind of offer interoperability outside of the blockchain. We do see a lot of interoperability, sort of projects, specifically like, Atom or Cosmos, if you will, but that is just for blockchain. Link is, this. It's basically the best way that I could describe it. It provides interoperability the same way Quant does, except through oracles. And when we talk about this, it can't do interoperability the same way as QNT can with, for example, legacy systems within blockchain, but it could provide a lot of bridges for, again, data outside of blockchain, which means it can kind of connect and work within the Internet of Things. But Chainlink has been one that I've been watching very, very closely for a while, considering the fact that it did come down to the levels that I've seen, going all the way back to almost DeFi summer. So we actually do see where we currently are testing in terms of the price range here. So it's going back all the way to almost August of 2020, but specifically the time frame of DeFi summer when it really started to break out of course, the March of 2020 lows. Now, as we really look at, Link, a lot of people have been calling for some major targets on Link to like $1,000 here, there, whatever the case may be. But honestly, we are going to be talking about some realistic targets on Chainlink, specifically around the $100 plus range. Now, of course, you could do your own research on this gem if you want. It's not a new project. This has been out for a while, since going back as far as like 2017. You also do see the accumulation happening in terms of the wallets here. The supply is totally fine. There's no real bad tokenomics around Chainlink. Like I said, this is actually a fairly older project, going all the way back to 2017. And I shouldn't even say it's an older project, but it has had time in this market. And it's pretty much proven its grounds. Now, again, there's a ton of use cases within the Chainlink ecosystem that you guys could learn all about. There's a ton of partnerships with Chainlink with a lot of the other assets that I do hold, simply because of, again, Chainlink does offer a lot of connectivity between, again, it's basically just connecting smart contracts with other data and services outside of the blockchain. That's the best way that I could describe it to you in the simplest way possible. But they definitely do offer a ton of use case values in terms of a lot of these areas, specifically around DeFi, enterprise, and so on. But again, it really got its main start in terms of a bullish movement during DeFi summer, and a lot of altcoins did very good around that time. But let's talk about why I do believe that Link could actually outshine that entire move from those March 2020 lows all the way to the heights in terms of the May timeframe of 2021 and more. So first off, we talk about staking opportunities. So staking is actually coming to Chainlink very, very soon. They did promise it back in around roughly the February of 2022 timeframe, but we've been hearing talks about staking for a very long time within the Chainlink ecosystem. But we did get this massive breakdown from them themselves on their blog, talking about what is staking, blockchains, oracles, and DeFi. Now, there isn't a clear, estimated time frame on when staking is going to be offered, but we do know that staking definitely does offer a lot of incentives for individuals who do want to hold their assets long term, but it also does lock up a lot of the token supply. So when we talk about this, it does provide a lot of value to even newer holders, because again, the more supply that is locked away, the less that you can actually buy. Newer holders basically can buy as much as they can possibly get, but it also does allow for a supply shock to happen. It does allow for the price of the asset to appreciate a little bit more. But we also know that in terms of DeFi, staking is definitely a big area. As DeFi is continuing to grow out in terms of market cap, but also adoption, I do believe that this is an area to really kind of focus on. And of course, you guys do see Link is being the number 5 token here in terms of the top DeFi tokens. And we do know how a lot of these tokens do move. They move very, very fast. We also see Chainlink's all-time high. We could actually see the all-time high here. It's like roughly like $50 some. I remember when this actually happened. Around that time, everybody was calling for much, much higher prices. So here we have it. There we go. So the all-time high is roughly $52.88. And we do see the all-time low 5 years ago, like I said, when this came out, roughly in 2017. But let's talk about the price chart. Let's talk about where we can go in terms of target points, and let's talk about the potential here for Link. So keep it in mind, again, all of the use cases around Chainlink, specifically around like the enterprise grade area, large capital markets that it's basically going after. So if you think about it like this, right? There's a lot of things to speculate behind a lot of these assets. Like, for example, a lot of people think that these assets move in price just because, they are being utilized or something like that. In terms of crypto, a lot of the price movement that does happen is just simply because of buyer demand and buyer FOMO. When we look at, Link for the past, few, weeks, because we are on the weekly candle, up until around the May timeframe of 2021, this was actually riding out a very, very solid chart. It was actually riding the 50-day EMA closely until we did see March of 2020 drop. But again, it really quickly regrasped that level, and we kind of continued to pump all the way into April of 2021, hitting that all-time high. Now, since then, we've been kind of in a downtrend overall, and of course, you guys can see that right now. We actually just broke down below the 200-day EMA, which is pretty significant, which tells me that we will most likely see a retest of a significant support layer, which is most likely going to be around this like $8.86 zone to even possibly even lower at around like $7.52. So gonna kind of go into the middle of this and go to like $8.35. So at around this range here would be, in my opinion, a perfect entry point. Now, we might get this before this video goes live. We might get this, a little bit from here, but I foresee this target being hit. Again, you do your own research, understand where you want to enter in, but it's either between here and about like $9.30. So let's talk about the growth here. Let's talk about how high we can go in terms of price. So first off, let's close out the RSI. Let's get rid of the volume just so that we can see the chart itself. Let's go to the monthly candles here because I really want to go off of the monthly candles because it's just a lot easier to view. And let's go off of the fib levels. So again, kind of going off of that buy point entry, which would be roughly about like $8.40. This could very well net you a solid ROI. So first off, my main target point on this would be in the high points of like roughly like $170. That would be, in my, personal opinion, a very solid sell point. Now, you could sell whenever you want. This is going to be my entry plan. Of course, I might get front run. I might even enter just around like $9.83. Again, at around this range, I still expect a 10x opportunity. A 10x opportunity right from this level would roughly be around like, $98.30. But, just for the sake of the video, if we talk about levels that could be grasped, this would be a very, very easy level to really kind of just target in terms of a safe point or a conservative area, if you will. Now, could this go higher from these areas? Yeah, sure, 100%. But I just think that from going off of this bottom range here, right? And if we just go to like the 1618 for an example, this would be about almost a 19x opportunity. I could easily see this doing a 20x and netting some individuals over 2,000% plus in gains, which is very significant. Of course, going off of the other topping points up here, I mean, a lot of these are most likely never going to get hit within this range. But, I could see it happening long term, more so like specifically like around like $3 and like, or $3, $346, so like roughly $700 plus. these are going to be most likely targets that we have to wait on for a little bit of time. But I will say right now, off of this range here, if we're talking about where we are basically retesting on Link, I think that this is going to be a solid opportunity. I mean, this is testing all the way back to 2020 timeframes, specifically around almost a topping point of DeFi summer. And if we do get these entry points, this is going to be a level that, I think everyone should be eyeing closely on Link because, again, I think that DeFi is here to stay. I think DeFi is a very significant area in crypto that does get a little bit of spotlight, specifically even around like stablecoins and things like that. So let's talk about this, right? So $170 would be my target point on Chainlink. So this would be about a 15x from our current levels, but like I said, going down to like $8 or so, it could be a lot more in terms of ROI potential, but we could see a market cap of $79.4 billion. I actually see this being fairly conservative. Like I said, this already hit almost $53, which was roughly about a $24.8 billion market cap. But at $170, it would still be under that $100 billion market cap area. And when we talk about a lot of the top 10 assets, right, specifically around like even Solana and things like that, even Dogecoin, right, we know that they hit $90+ billion in market cap. So when we talk about something like Chainlink, in terms of its use case value, because it does have a lot of products, it does have a lot of use cases, specifically very valuable use cases as well. We look at Solana, and we know that Solana's all-time high, so I actually want to get the dollar figure amount, is $260, right? So with Solana, if we look at that market cap at $260, it would be an $86.9 billion market cap, which is, like I said, I think that Link could go a little bit higher from these targets. I'm not going to try to squeeze every single, ROI potential out of Chainlink. I'm still going to get to the point where I feel comfortable exiting. Like, for an example, if I'm entering at about like $8.40, for an example, right? I feel confident selling at $84, right? Because $84 is still a 10x opportunity. I don't really need anything else from there. But of course, if I wanted to wait till like $168 just to get a 20x opportunity, that's totally fine as well. But I would definitely make sure to take your profit points, because if you take your profits, then it does de-risk your investment a little bit more. So overall, to really kind of sum this video up, in terms of Chainlink, I think that this could be a very incredible opportunity, especially if we do come down and retest these major support demand zones. This is multi-year, demand zones that we are basically testing already, but just a little bit more is going to be the area that I'm really watching for. Even if we just get a test of the 50-day EMA at about roughly $9.80, that's going to be a level to really eye, because still, from there, a $98 Link would be a 10x opportunity. So I'm very well interested in seeing where Link goes here. I'm going to be watching a lot of these altcoins closely. Of course, I do believe that we should be watching Bitcoin a little bit more from here, just to make sure that we are validated on us being in a bullish cycle. But I will say this, Link is very interesting right here at around these price ranges, because like I said, on the next major rally, even if we just 2x from this point, it's going to be very, very interesting. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.